gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yes! Yes. Let's stop that music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I am your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where I think I'm about to predict the future here. And maybe it's not that hard to predict, but I was thinking about this guy a lot today. Why is it that why is it so easy to find him, and why do we know so much about him already? Why is his manifesto out? Why was it so easy? It's just everyone's asked the question. Why is it just doesn't make sense. He did all this stuff to make sure he wouldn't be found at the scene of the crime, but then they catch him in a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, carrying the gun, carrying the silencer, carrying his manifestos with them. Like, it's never that easy. And I think there's a reason for it. And it really, it's not rocket science as far as I'm concerned. I think it should be easy for most people to figure out. But maybe not. So that is the main topic today. But we have lots of other stuff. Obviously, we do our trending stuff and yada yada and all the stuff there and this and there, but whatever, yada yada. And so we're going to do that. But of course, first, we're going to say hi to everybody because, it's still easy to do that. I would love for this to be a lot harder to do. I would love to be there, 500 people here every show where I could only say hi to the first 20 or 30 people because it would take too long to say hi to 500 people. But for now, you are the greatest audience I could ever have. And I'm very happy that you come here often and every day. And some of you are here every other day and some of you are here once a week and whatever. Whenever you come, I'm ready. Or if you just watch the replay, I am happy you do that too. But I want to let you know that I appreciate you by saying hello. And so, first in the chat today is Mr. Cara Soldier. Way to go. Getting here bright and early. Also, good morning to the honorable mention, favorite Canadian, Special Can Acid. Good morning also, Mike Savage, Blarg. My international audience is showing up early. Let's see, who else is here? Just you three. Oh, Lord Stanhope, good morning. I gotta scroll because you guys are chatting up a storm there for a minute. Our friend Tyre Alexander, the Scourge. Oops, almost played it twice. Also, good morning, Plague Trucker Zach. What up, Zach? How you doing? Sapphire Dragons in the house. Kesler, what's up? Yo to you too. Oh my God, I'm dying. Sorry. So unprofessional. This cough is not going away. I think I'm dying. I don't know. By the way, the Papa Bear Cup from Breckenridge, Colorado today. Where was I? Good morning, Attack Alpaca. Or before I threw along. Ravon Harris, a.k.a. Novar Shira. Who else? Green Badger Outdoors. Hello. Rick Ashbringer, good morning. And that's about it so far. Now, if you haven't shared the show, why? Go click that thing up there at the top and at least give me a let's go. Like some of you have already done, at least, Mike Savage has done it. What's going on today? Where is everybody? Why is this so slow to start? Did the notifications not go out? Did you how would you know? You clearly got yours. But there's another issue that I want to address before I get started. There's 16 people or 17 people in chat, it says, but there's only 3 likes. Hit the damn like button, please. Thank you very much. And if you want to sponsor the show, you can do that at pdognight.live. That'll show up in the chat here once in a while. And share the stream, hit the like, pdognight.live. There you go. Or it's super chats are fine too. Whatever. If you want to donate to the show, you guys will keep the lights on. As long as I can keep the lights on, I'll keep doing the show. So there you go. What's that? Okay, let's go ahead and get started because I got a lot to cover and I want to make sure I get to the main topic. And time's limited. By the way, I am going to put a link to the pdognight.live store where you can get the show. The show is sponsored by today's show is sponsored by the Dawg Knight Unburdened store, where you can get the January 2025 second Christmas gear, I'll call it, when Donald Trump will be inaugurated into office again. All these things come in white and red: shirts, t-shirts, sweaters, sweatshirts. Well, not sweatshirts, but I even got a crop top shirt. I don't know why. I'm not sure. If you have a kid in your life that would wear a crop top shirt, but the visor, the beanie, the dad hat, I got one of the flat build caps, there's all kinds of stuff. So if you're interested to celebrate that, we will certainly appreciate that. That store's be in the links. And let's see, what was the other thing? There was one other thing I wanted to say before I started. I can't remember. Oh, well, here, Tyre, thank you for retweeting the stream. Oh, the Let's Goes. There we go. So here's one with a little GIF or GIF or peanut butter or whatever you want to call it. Let's go already. Yay. Thank you, Tyre. Oh, I'm going to center that so you can see it better. There. That's the GIF, whatever. I say GIF because the G stands for graphic, which is a hard G, not a soft G. It's a G. So weird. Unacceptable views and my other favorite Canadians in the house. Nice to see you. All right, let's get going. The special day today, it is, and I don't know why, but somebody says it is International Mountain Day. Now, we're talking about actual mountains. Get your heads out of the gutter. It's International Mountain Day, everyone. Let's see. Is there anything? There's one. The one I was going to do is not here. Tomorrow, or let's see. Did you know that mountains protect us from disasters and provide nature-based solutions to reduce risk? I did not know that. Find out what 5 reasons why mountains matter. Oh, well, here we go. Does this have music to it? I don't know what this is. Let's start this over. We'll see. This will be good. Let's get some education. 5 reasons why mountains matter. Mountains matter. And hopefully it's, what's that? I don't want to play that. What am I doing? Oh, here's what I do. I want to do full screen. There we go. 5 reasons why mountains matter. And we'll just do it without here. In fact, I'll put my own music to it. How's that sound? Let's put my own music to it because I can't use their music because you never know if I'm going to get one of those things. Oh, there's my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony and also a non 1, 2, 3. All right, here's 5 reasons why mountains matter. We'll turn that down a little bit though. Okay, 5 reasons why mountains matter. 1, they provide a home to almost 1.1 billion people. Number 2, they host about half the world's biodiversity hotspots. That's really loud, in my ear at least. They provide 6 of the 20 most important food crops. Oh, do they? Wait. And also forests cover around 40% of the global mountain area. Oh, and 5, they provide between 60 to 80% of the world's fresh water. So there you go. That's why mountains are important. That is from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, which I'm not a fan of. But anyway, so there you go. There's 5 reasons mountains matter, and that's where coffee grows. So that's really important. I learned that when I was in Hawaii, the Big Island. That's where you find coffee, is growing on mountains. Oh, coffee and cocaine, definitely. One day, those mountains will be dust. Well, I suppose that's it. So everything will be dust eventually, I suppose. So there you go. Happy International Mountain Day. Also, of course, it is, I gotta be careful. Hang on. Hump Day. And I didn't, oh, well, this is funny. This is just a cute little video that someone put out here for Hump Day. So let's just play this. There's no Is there music? No, there's not. Okay, here it is. Here's some happy hump day video. Just some dogs enjoying hump day in the winter. And so here we go. Oh yeah, there. Dogs jumping into snow. We'll drop the music there. We'll put my own music on this too. So there we go. Dogs enjoying snow on hump day. This is so funny because occasionally we get heavy snow in Minnesota, you know, because it's a snow state. And I remember at least Lucky, when Lucky was still alive, we had a big old drift out in the backyard, and she jumped out and she disappeared in the drift. And then she like came straight back in the house like, what the hell is this shit? So this is cute. Dogs enjoying the snow on hump day. Oh, that's funny. The dog doing a little skiing or sliding down the hill. Oh, dogs are so cute, aren't they? All right, enough of that. Enough. Turn that shit off. All right, moving on. All right. So happy happy hump day. Let's see. Oh, well, here's some good advice on hump day too. I'll show you this one too. This is what it says: hard work is a choice, attitude is a choice, discipline is a choice, doing extra is a choice, excellence is a choice. There are no shortcuts to success. We must work for it. So that's a good message, I think. That's a very good message. All right, so happy hump day. Moving on. Next on the board is, now I usually do celebrity birthdays or whatever, but I'm not going to do a celebrity birthday. Actually, we have kind of a sad note, I guess. I mean, he hasn't passed away or anything, but apparently just in, Randy Moss, the former Minnesota Viking great receiver, one of the greatest receivers in the NFL all the time. He also played for the Patriots, and I think he played for Atlanta for one season. I don't remember. Randy Moss has announced that he has liver cancer. The NFL Hall of Fame wide receiver recently stepped away from his ESPN job. Prayers up. America's hoping he can Moss the Big C, as in beat the Big C, because, you know. Prayers to Randy Moss. A lot of other NFL players are sending prayers. For example, Larry Fitzgerald Sr., 66th NFL Hall of Fame ceremony here in Las Vegas. Just heard that Vikings Hall of Fame Randy Moss has liver cancer. Let's show us the power of prayer and pull Moss through this. Love you, Randy Moss. What? Oh, someone's giving some advice there. Oh my gosh, this is wild. So his son, this is disgusting. You have no right to try to make private matters public for the sake of engagement. I do not believe my father talks to you, so check your fucking sources. Whoa, what does that mean? Anyway, lots of people tweeting out Randy Moss' personal news that he has liver cancer is pretty messed up. He would have announced it on ESPN when he said he was stepping away if he wanted everyone to know. Oh, apparently, oh my gosh, he didn't know? Oh, per Randy Moss' son, this is false. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Now, this is interesting. I had not, okay, and Larry Fitzgerald took it down. Here we go. Randy Moss went out of his way to keep the specifics of his health situation discreet. He simply told us he was dealing with a health matter and asked for our prayers. Yet here you go on some corny ass, fake ass TMZ shit, trying to be the first to break the fucking news. This is utter disrespectful, classless, and utterly disgusting. This is the problem with the world nowadays. Y'all want to be first rather than be respectful. Delete this shit, which he did. Interesting. I don't know. So now I don't know if it's true or not. Yes, he did play for the Patriots for a time, Rick Ashbringer. Yes. So I don't even know, but everyone's sending their prayers. Uh, is that holy shit? Well, and I don't know that Randy Moss is even. Is Randy Moss? Let's see if Randy Moss has chimed in. Wait, this can't be the same Randy Moss. I don't see any announcement from him. So who knows what's first. I know he's having health problems and people are, maybe that's not it though. So anyway, that's interesting. So I'll update you on that at another date. In the news also, core CPI, the consumer price index numbers have come in and inflation's up again. Not greatly, but breaking. November CPI inflation rises to 2.7% in line with expectations of 2.7%. And core CPI inflation was 3.3% in line with expectations of 3.3%. Headline, CPI inflation is now at its highest level since July 2024. So thank God the Inflation Reduction Act worked. Again, that's on top of the 4 years of inflation we've seen under the Biden administration. And there's people out here blaming it on Trump. It's like, this is dumb. So other things that'll be coming in today, crude oil inventories, U.S. 10-year bond auction, federal budget balance, earnings, whatever. So related to that, Janet Yellen is also trending, the Secretary of the Treasury, I believe. And apparently, Yellen says, I am concerned about fiscal sustainability, and I am sorry we haven't made more progress. I believe the deficit needs to be brought down. Well, U.S. debt rose by $8.2 trillion while Yellen was Fed chair or vice chair, and by $8.5 trillion while she was Treasury Secretary. So, that's one of those things. It's just one of those things. Someone here says, Janet Yellen has apologized for overseeing the greatest intergenerational theft in American history. I don't accept her apology. So here's, let's see, this is back when Yellen warns Trump sweeping tariffs could derail inflation progress. Yeah, maybe. But here it is. In the past 2 years, President-elect Joe Biden's pick to be Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, has raked in more than $7.2 million in speaking fees from Wall Street and large corporations, including Citi, Goldman Sachs, Google, Citi National Bank, UBS, Citadel LLC, Barclays, Credit Suisse, Salesforce, and more. Yellen's financial disclosure is one of the three filed by the Biden team at the end of 2020 that could become potentially problematic with the left wing of the Democratic Party when confirmation hearings. That's back when she was being confirmed. She's been between her time as what was she on? She was on the Fed and then Treasury Secretary. She was breaking in mega speaking fees. I'm concerned about fiscal responsibility and deficits need to be brought down. Yeah. We're all trying to find the guy who did this. That's whatever. So she made just over 7 million speaking fees in just 2 years from financial institutions in Wall Street. She's corrupt to the core. So, yeah, Janet Yellen. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Janet fucking Yellen.
Your life makes me sad.
Moving on, also Mitch McConnell's trending because Mitch McConnell had another freeze-up moment apparently, and then he also fell and hurt himself. We'd like to see Mitch recover and retire. Someone was asking him at a press conference if he was going to run again in 2026. Riley Gaines, a Kentucky, University of Kentucky swimmer, says just as Biden needed to step aside, Mitch McConnell should do the same. Kentucky deserves better. Oh, that's interesting. So anyway, someone says remove. Now the end begins. Remove Senator Mitch McConnell from office immediately. He is non-functioning cipher. Only a corrupt and broken system would allow this man to remain in office and in power. They did it with Dianne Feinstein. Literally died in office. So why would they get rid of Mitch? Anyway, I think this is fake. I think though I don't think that's really a bandage on his head. Is that from his fault? He hurt his wrist. Not as. Oh wait, that is real. This is nuts. Doesn't McConnell have some great grandkids he could spend time with? He's doing no good in his current position, and he's done more harm than good the last number of years. It's time, Mitch, go the fuck home. So here's, I guess this. I thought this was a joke. I thought this was a meme. This was not a meme. This was real.
Is your head okay after that fall?
Mitch!
Senator?
She asked you a fucking question! Mitch! Wake the fuck up! Mitch! Mitch!
Well, I don't really know if I hurt my head. I know it hurt my wrist, and I just don't know. Bro,
McConnell just got the Harry Reid injuries from the fall. Yeah, I don't even know if this is real or not. Is that real? No, it's not real. That was fake. See, now that's twice I've seen this video. People have been showing the fake video, because here's the one too. Here's this one.
Senator, is your head okay after that fall?
Like he has, okay, so he's wearing this tie, and those people around him. Let's look at down here though. This is the real one, okay? I think this is the real video. That's funny. People have been, what the hell?
Cooperation and a string of.
See, this is the video from when he froze up a few months ago. See, they're the same people behind him, same tie. So that's a fake video. That's wild that people are putting out the fake video. Oh, Mike. Mitch's jaw's really hanging today. He's going to be okay, LOL. Well, we'll see. I think it's time for Mitch to retire. I hope somebody knock some sense into him. Maybe he should just step down now. And the problem, I don't know if Kentucky has to appoint a senator or if they have a special election to replace a senator. Some states, the governor can appoint them. The reason he may not step down is because they have a Democratic governor. But I don't know how they do it in the state of Kentucky. Maybe someone can look that up for me. All right, moving on. Because I want to get through this pretty quick. Lurch is trending. Oh. The reason Lurch is trending, I may have mentioned this yesterday, for some god-awful reason. Nobody knows why this is happening, but John F. Kerry, apparently they have unveiled a portrait of John fucking Kerry at the State Department. Here it is. Now, I don't know if this is the correct one or not. Let's see. There's John Kerry over there on the right. And for some reason, they're putting up a portrait of John Kerry in the State Department. Nobody knows why. I don't know that they do this for every person who works in the State Department. John Kerry is a special envoy for climate change or some bullshit position like that. And so nobody knows why they're doing this, okay? But they are. And so what are people saying about it? How much did this cost us? The painting should have been Lurch waving from a private jet overhead to peasants eating bugs near the entrance of their cave while an eagle gets pureed by a nearby wind turbine. Yes, that's what it should have been. So anyway, where's the one? So see, there's the one, the C-SPAN. There's one though, which, and I don't know if I can find it. Yeah, there we go. That's what it should have looked like. That's John fucking Kerry. That's hilarious. That's so anyway, here is from John Kerry talking about climate change, just so you know who John fucking Kerry is.
There's really no polite way to put it.
Really, there is no really right way to put it, John.
The climate crisis is killing people.
No, it's not.
It is knowingly.
No, it's not. Hello,
allowing
Maddie.
People to die and infecting them with disease and providing them with air that kills people because we're not.
Wait. providing them with air that kills people. Make that make sense. Make that make sense, lurch.
To take the steps necessary to do what we know we need to do.
By the way, John and his wife, Teresa Heinz, is that her name? The heiress, or actually now the owner of Heinz Ketchup, you know, the Heinz company. They also have a couple beach houses. You know, houses on beaches where the oceans are going to overwhelm and probably put their entire house underwater when the oceans rise. Yeah, John fucking Kerry has a beach house.
And every year now.
Oh, he's the most prolific flyer of private jets in the entire United States government behind the president.
People around this planet are dying because fossil fuel and methane emissions, called greenhouse gas pollution. Those methane emissions and CO2 emissions and nitrous oxide and other emissions are escaping into the atmosphere, being fed by the way in which we continue to choose
to
fuel
fly
vehicles,
to ride in our private jet, right, John?
Heat our homes, light our factories, and so forth.
So the solution is we should all be Luddites and tax everyone up the ass. Right? Is that your solution, John? I'm pretty sure that's the solution to every 10-year crisis, meaning every 10 years we have a new crisis that they find a reason to tax us for it. So anyway, fuck John Kerry. Moving on. Greece is also trending, and I don't mean the kind of Greece that... Oh, I better not say that. Greece is trending because apparently Donald Trump has chosen, what's her name? Kimberly... What the hell's this woman's name? Glyphaloil or whatever. Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-girlfriend, Kimberly Glyphaloil, is being tapped to be, and I shouldn't have said tapped either because, you know, tapped that. Tapped to be the ambassador to Greece. And most people don't have an opinion about it. Here we have, congratulations to the amazing Kimberly Glyphaloil. I'll just say it that way. Glyphaloil. Our next ambassador to Greece, I really don't have it. Someone here says, I really don't have any opinions about the healthcare industry in the United States other than I'm very grateful to live here and have access to it. A few years ago, my uncle was bitten by a wild dog in Greece and his leg became so infected. Okay, that's something about healthcare. Now, here's the funny one, though. I can't remember Lionel's last name, but Lionel Media says, say what you want about Don Jr. He doesn't just break up with you. He sends you out of the country, but with an ambassadorship. Not too shabby. So, yeah, she's going to be the... is thinking about making Kimberly Glyphaloil. Does anyone know how to say her name? Can anybody phonetically spell her name in the chat? Does anyone know how to say her freaking name? Possibly making her the ambassador to Greece. Oh, here it is. I'm honored to accept President Trump's nomination to serve as the next ambassador to Greece, and I look forward to earning the support of the United States Senate. President Trump's historic victory is bringing hope and optimism to the American people and to freedom-loving allies across the world. It was the democratic values born in Greece that helped shape the founding of America, and now we have an opportunity to honor that history by bringing a better days here at home and abroad. As ambassador, I look forward to delivering on the Trump agenda, supporting our Greek allies, and ushering in a new era of peace and prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, Kimberly Glyphaloil. Oh, Guilfoyle? With hard G or soft G? Guilfoyle? Well, thank you. I had no idea how to say her damn name. All right, real quick, thank you, Kara Soldier. Kara Soldier dropping a small bullet in the tip jar, and that makes you the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, Kara Soldier. First super chat via Streamlabs, P.Night.live. Oh, I should probably pin that to the top of this chat here. Is anyone seen Johnny Boomer Tech yet? Is he doing his job? I can't tell. Anyway, who says, quote, I'm getting beyond fucking tired that Congress is now seen as the most expensive retirement home. Not to mention the geriatrics get paid to just mumble and grow more and more out of touch with their constituents. Plus they keep getting elected. Yeah, I agree. Mitch should have been gone the last time. But he did, kind of maintain the majority or the minority leader position. I'm glad he finally stepped down from that because the man's obviously becoming a vegetable. So there you go. Anyway, thank you, Kara Soldier, for sponsoring the show. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do it at pdognight.live. Apparently, Johnny Boomer Tech hasn't woken up yet, so he'll be here somewhere. He'll be here someday. Here you go. We're gonna change this. There we go. We'll just pin that to the top. I don't know if that's gonna. There's no link, but whatever. We'll replace the pin message. There we go. All right, moving on. What's next here? Justin Trudeau is trending too, and for our Canadian friends, your prime minister, the awesome, greatest prime minister in the history of all histories. Beta. He kind of reminds me of Beta at work. So, Justin Trudeau had things to say, and he's a little upset with us Americans. Apparently, Justin Trudeau here's the thing. So, Trump's been giving him the business a little bit, with this whole making Canada our 51st state. And so he came out here and said something about something, and I'm just going to show it to you. You can decide for yourself what this means. Let's get the beginning. There we go.
No, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress.
His lisp really bothers me. I don't know why.
And yet, just a few weeks ago, the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president.
Oh my God.
Everywhere, women's rights
that's awful.
And women's progress is under attack, overtly and subtly.
No,
I want you to know that I am, and always will be, a proud feminist. You will always have an ally in me and in my government.
Beta. Okay, so
no, it shouldn't.
So he's upset that the United States didn't elect a woman. Justin, here's a thought. You could step down, and I'm sure there's probably some woman in Canada who could take your place. So shut the fuck up. We don't care what you think. Anyway, I think that's why he's trending, though. Someone said, and then someone says, Canadia's Canada. I keep saying Canada. Canada's government, Russia is bad. Also, Canada, give us your guns and money to give to Ukraine, or else we will put you in prison or kill you. I'd rather donate guns and money to fight the Canadian government than the Russian government. Oh, snap. Yeah, because they're going to confiscate guns, I guess. Or no, they're going to call it a buyback, but they say there's a whole new class of guns that are no longer legal to use or sell or possess in Canada. And they want to have a collection system where they're going to collect all their guns, and then they're going to see if, they're going to call up old Zelensky. Hey, Vladimir Zelensky. Hey, yeah, it's me, Justin. Hey, I got a bunch of guns. You want them? They can help you in your fight against Russia. That's just stupid. Just so stupid. But anyway, this is, of course, the Babylon. The Babylon Bee with a classic who says, Trump tells Trudeau he won't annex Canada if, and only if, they admit their bacon is just ham. There you go. Way to go, Babylon Bee. All right, that's why Trudeau's trending. A couple more trending topics, and let's get into the main topic. The United States Postal Service is trending. And over the last couple days, what's the dude's name? LaJoy or La Jolla? What's that dickhead's name? DeJoy. Anyway, he heads the United States Postal Service, right? And there have been some Senate hearings about how bad the United States Postal Service has been lately. And I'll tell you what. I've been watching clips of Republicans grilling this dickwad and Democrats grilling this dickwad, and nobody likes him. His name's DeJoy, and he's the. Well, let's just give you some examples. Let's start with this one. Louis DeJoy, that's his name, and Representative, I think Mike McCormick grilled him a little bit. Let's just watch this one first. There's a couple of these about how badly he's been doing in his job. Here's Dr. Mike McCormick.
You were graded by the United States people, and they don't use your service anymore. You bankrupt.
That is not true.
You bankrupt this through your reputation only. Through your reputation, you are responsible for the fall of the Postal Service.
DeJoy does not like being grilled.
Congress is responsible for the fall of the Postal Service.
So it's Congress.
I am trying to fix
on your
the Postal
watch
Service.
With all the AI.
Before my watch, the same stuff happened.
With all the AI, with all the computer systems, you're worse than if I took a horse and picked up the mail and delivered it 2 miles down the road. That's you.
Oh, what a dickhead.
This is the response that the postmaster just gave Congress when he doesn't like what he hears. Literally covered his ears and gave himself the grade of A. And with that, sir, I rest.
Good.
You were great.
Okay, so that's one of them. I'm just telling you, the dude's been getting grilled by all sorts of people. Yeah, that's not the picture you want. That's not the picture you want. if you're this guy being a complete fucking child. And then let's see, there's one of Rand Paul here. This one's, I think this is the same hearing. Let's see here. By the way, the U.S. Postal Service has seen an 80% decrease in the volume of mail, but inexplicably, 190,000 employees have been added. Go figure that one. Senator Rand Paul. Here's Senator Rand Paul asking about that fact.
You mentioned in your testimony that the post office is different than other areas of government, that it has to operate like a private business. You also mentioned that about 80% of the volume of first-class mail has gone down over time. Can you think of a private business where 80% of what they're, doing to make money is going down in volume that would actually increase their employees?
Yeah, so, Senator, you keep asking. I mean, I didn't make the laws that organize the United States Postal Service, okay? I came in, as I said, to the condition that we had, and I'm trying to fix it. Now, you exaggerate the hiring aspects.
I know of no one in
I don't know how he exaggerated. He gave the number of 190,000. Let's see, there was one other. I think this is, the main reason he's trending is because of that clip, though. There were a couple others here, but nobody likes the U.S. Postal Service. Oh, here this one too. This is Hawley from Missouri.
I understand your position, Mr. DeJoy, but I need you to understand mine. I represent a state that's majority rural. 754 of my 950 and my 926 post offices are going to experience additional delays. This is on top of the fact that in the Kansas-Missouri district, you're hitting a 72% on-time delivery standard that's well beneath your own target. I mean, I'm just telling you that in my state, they're very frustrated. And when you have, the Farm Bureau represents 157,000 Missouri farm families, and they look at your plan and they say, what in the world?
Okay, so anyway, Josh Hawley talking. That's not the entire exchange, but he got a little feisty with Josh Hawley too. So anyway, and it's interesting because, being someone who works for UPS, our on-time rate's probably in the high 90s. And we're competing with, FedEx and Amazon, and, different entities. And it's amazing how you can, if we say something's going to be there in 3 days, it's there in 3 days. And if we find out that we're behind, we'll put it on a plane instead of doing ground or whatever. We'll find a way to get it there in 3 days. Or if we need something overnight, we're like that too. Our success rate's amazing. And I think it's the same with the other two private businesses. And so it's a little frustrating for people to see the United States Postal Service suck so bad. So anyway, And then finally, the last trending topic that I'm going to talk about is, I don't know why malls is trending. I haven't quite figured it out. But for just some nostalgia, this is I guess a mall from the 80s. I guess someone saying that maybe some malls are making a comeback, but I know that there's several malls where I live that have struggled. Now, let's see. Someone here says, this guy says, I have a dream of buying an old rundown mall, then renovating to look like it did in its heyday, complete with only storefronts and items you'd find pre-2000, something of a glorified antique mall, but with a true time travel experience. If anyone wants to fund this, I will invest all my time in starting tomorrow. Malls are dying mostly because we have so much convenient shopping. But I know that our largest mall in the Twin Cities area here, the Mall of America, still stays very busy. It still gets about 35 million visitors a year. So go figure. But I have no idea why malls are trending other than it's Christmas time and maybe people will go to the malls. All right, now let me check my notifications here. We got a few more. What do we got here? We have some more Let's Goes. We have some more Let's Goes. So thank you, by the way, Somnambule Nation and Tyre Alexander for retweeting the show. Here's another Let's Go from Somnambule Nation. Let's fucking go, baby. Thank you very much. So there you go. You can still do that if you'd like. All right. Let's see. Let's get into the topic of the day, because I'm going to talk about this little jag-off that they caught for shooting the CEO. And it's been really disturbing, by the way, watching various entities on the internet celebrate this. And as I was watching, for example, I don't know if you saw, I'm not going to put it on here, but for example, Taylor Lorenz was on with Piers Morgan, and she said something about she felt joy about this. Now, she tried to walk it back and pretend like she didn't say it, but I've been seeing a lot of people just celebrating this murder, a straight out assassination in the middle of a street in New York City, or in the middle of a sidewalk, whatever. And I've been wondering why. A lot of people are asking these questions. Why was it so easy to find this guy a couple days later? Oh, yeah, some McDonald's employee saw him and called him in. They found him, whatever. And, and they've already been leaking his manifesto. He had a little manifesto that they've been reading. And as I've been thinking about this, I'm going, wait a minute. It doesn't make sense that, as careful as he was, went in New York City, shoot the guy, almost like a professional hitman, looking, almost like a professional, right? And just walking away briskly, finding his way to where his escape route, whatever, and then gets caught in Altoona, Pennsylvania, with all the stuff on him. Like, it's like he planned the shooting so carefully, but then he doesn't have a change of clothes. He didn't dump the weapon. He didn't dump all the stuff. And he's caught with a manifesto that they're now leaking to the press. Here's what I'm thinking. And I'm just spitballing here. Hello, Jethro Hetero. There's a purpose to this incident. And I don't know if it's necessarily for this particular healthcare guy, but it almost seems like, and as many people as I see on the internet celebrating this, with this manifesto, your hate CEOs, this, it's almost like they're trying to create an open season, not just on CEOs, but warm people up to the idea of removing certain people from the pool and inspiring copycats by putting out this manifesto. Because remember, they didn't put out the manifesto of the Louisville shooter. We still don't know anything about the guy who shot up the country concert in Las Vegas. We don't know anything about this kid that supposedly miraculously slipped in and around Secret Service people to shoot at the president, a former president of the United States. But we know all about this guy and his motivations. The motivations are kind of I don't know if you call it it's almost the perfect class warfare motivation. Oh, these greedy CEOs who are doing this and that and the other, right? Well, what do we have happening in our country right now that's coming up here in about, just a few weeks away? That if we were trying to get people to do some copycat shit for people they don't like, it's interesting that they've been beating the drum about a particular person that they really don't like, calling him Hitler and other bullshit. Are they going to do something and try to blame it on this anti-billionaire, anti-CEO sentiment? Is there someone in our what do you call it? The intelligence agencies that, this is just kind of a setup to create a new Patsy, a new Lee Harvey Oswald? Is it just one of those things that they're desensitizing people to it and trying to test the waters on, because there's a lot of people justifying this online, and I'm just like, are you serious? And I thought, wow, be kind of an elaborate plot. It's funny also that, Nancy Pelosi's name's been getting mentioned on this because it just happened to be someone who's going to be testifying in a kind of an insider trading hearing that has something to do with her. And it's just fascinating. So let's look at a couple articles that are out here that not necessarily support my theory. And I'm trying to be subtle because I don't want it to be like, well, first of all, I don't want the Secret Service at my door. But it's just fascinating. Good morning, by the way, TC and Jethro Hetero. I'll say it a little more clearly. So let's get a couple articles about what's going on with this kid. This not kid. He's probably 25 years old, right? So the suspect in the United Healthcare CEO assassin is fighting extradition to New York. I didn't know you had to have extradition from one state to another. I suppose you do. You mean they can't cross state lines with a suspect, a murder suspect? I mean, why would you fight extradition to another state when you clearly made a murder? Oh, take it easy, Mike. Thank you for dropping in. Just fighting extradition to New York, like across the. Oh my gosh, you mean they're going to cross state lines like Kyle Rittenhouse did? I don't know. Anyway, so Luigi Mangione, not related to Chuck Mangione, as far as I know, the man charged with the murder and the assassination of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, is fighting extradition to New York, setting off a process that could last weeks, the New York Times reported. Now again, okay, they're going to allow this process to be delayed? Is that so they can create more people sympathizing with them? What does that mean? Mangione's lawyer, Thomas Dickey, told the judge in a hearing on Tuesday afternoon that his client is contesting the extradition. Why? Why prolong this? The suspected assassin was arrested on gun and forgery charges in Altoona, Pennsylvania on Monday before he was charged with second-degree murder in New York. And how is this second-degree murder? Maybe I don't know the degrees of murder in this in New York, the state of New York. Hello, Linda Hunter, by the way. How is this second degree? I always thought first degree murder was premeditated, obviously a specific target. Why would they be charging him with second degree murder? Now, granted, they could also, I'm sure, I'm sure they could up the charges later, but it's just odd to me that, it's pretty specific and very pointed action by this jackhole. Now that Mangione has decided to fight the extradition, he is entitled to an evidentiary hearing, which will require the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to put up a witness. New York Governor Kathy Hochul will also have to submit a governor's warrant to Pennsylvania Josh Shapiro requesting the extradition, according to the Times. The lawyer told the judge that Mangione was wearing a mask during his arrest because of his fear of COVID. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Okay, I'm not so sure that Luigi Mangione and Taylor Lorenz aren't the same person. I'm just saying, she was so joyful about this. Mangione reportedly began to say, I bought the mask before his lawyer shushed him and said, no, don't say a word. Oh, they're playing games. The assassin was masked when he gunned down Thompson, a shooting that was caught on surveillance footage. The New York Police Department later circulated photos showing a person of interest lowering his mask in the lobby of a Manhattan hostel. NYPD authorities credited those photos as the key to Mangione's arrest. A person in an Altoona, Pennsylvania McDonald's, where the suspect stopped for lunch after getting off a Greyhound bus, recognized Mangione from the photos circulated by the New York Police Department. The suspect's lawyer requested the judge to set bail, but the judge refused, and Mangione will be held behind bars in Pennsylvania during his extradition process. While many states consider a premeditated killing first-degree murder. Oh, here's why. New York reserves the first-degree murder charge for a killing for hire, killing a person in law enforcement, killing a witness, killing while serving a long sentence, and killing with torture, according to the Times. First- and second-degree murder convictions in New York can result in life in prison, but the minimum sentence differs from 15 years under second-degree murder and 20 years under first-degree murder. On his way to the courthouse, Mangione was restrained by sheriff's deputies as he shouted at reporters gathering outside the building. Why was he shouting at reporters? Let's see what this is. Let's see.
Down.
Oh my God, that's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and lived experience.
No idea what he said. No idea what he said there. Sorry. So anyway, yeah, he just said it is completely bland something and an insult to the intelligence of the American people, he shouted. News Nation senior national correspondent Brian Enton reported that Mangione said it's completely an injustice, but it's difficult to decipher the exact quote. The New York Times reported that he yelled, "That's completely out of touch." So they're not sure what he said. Interesting. And I'm wondering what the injustice is. He's talking about. So moving on. Now, let me give you some more examples, though. Let's talk about how some people are reacting. And we're going to go to a couple examples here. One is Senator Elizabeth Warren. Senator Elizabeth Warren on the United Healthcare CEO slang, violence is wrong, but when you hear the but, whatever she said before the but is bullshit. I just messed up my mic here. Hang on a second. Let me fix that. Sorry about that. On Tuesday's broadcast of MSNBC's The Readout, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat from Massachusetts, commented on the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson by stating that, quote, violence is never the answer. This guy gets a trial who's allegedly killed the CEO of United Healthcare, but you can only push people so far, and then they start to take matters into their own hands. Is that really the messaging she wants on this? Like, doesn't that sound like, well, bad people just inevitably have bad things happen to them? I mean, that's what it sounds like. And she says, and regulation is needed. Okay. Now, maybe she's right. maybe she's not. I don't know. Host Joy Reid said, relevant exchange begins around 36:20. So we've been talking a lot about this Luigi Mangione, the case about the United Healthcare CEO. People are very angry at United Healthcare, I think for good reason, denying care and the whole system. And we were just talking in the previous block, killing a CEO is not the way you change. You have to regulate them, right? And so we've got attempts to try to rein in some of these big businesses. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which was your creation, the Trump administration wants to get rid of because it's an Elizabeth Warren slush fund. That is like protecting people from like credit card fraud. What happens if that goes away? Again, this is not related to what she does. Hello, Selected Boy. Yeah, boy. Warren agreed that regulating, not killing CEOs is how you change things, and answered, well, wait a minute. If that's the case, y'all been in the Senate for a long fucking time. Just saying. But, and it's one, it's kind of one industry where regulations kind of make sense. I don't know. We'll see. So she said, regulating, not killing CEOs is how you change things, and answered, so look, terrible for individuals, but stop and think overall about the social contract. Part of the deal in how we've kept this democracy, fuck you and your democracy. Yes, democracy is just how it's a way we elect our leaders, and that's all. They oh my God. How we've kept this democracy, this economy, this country on a fairly steady path for more than 200 years has been that those at the top pay a little more in taxes, which they already do, you dumbass, are a little less rich than they otherwise might be, and everybody else gets a chance. And what happened? Well, it hasn't always been that way. Look, that's so funny because it hasn't been that way for 20 years. Income tax is a 20th century invention for this country, and we didn't have. I hate these people. I really do. And then she said, and what happens when you turn this into the billionaires run it all, which again, now it's almost like this is a dog whistle again, because the big thing in the news is they're saying, oh, how many billionaires are in Trump's circle when he's coming into office? And she says, when you turn this into the billionaires run it all, is they get the opportunity to squeeze every last penny. And look, we'll say it over and over. The violence is never the answer. Oh, isn't it? Well, I'm glad you clarified that. This guy gets a trial who's allegedly killed the CEO of United Healthcare, but you can only push people so far, and then they start to take matters into their own hands. Reid responded, they start to take, yeah. So is that what's going to start happening around here? That people are going to start taking matters in their own hands? Well, who's the number one guy that they really don't like? Oh, the guy that beats your gal. Warren continued, we need regulation in part to rein those guys in, and you know where this is coming big time ahead of us is on taxes. That the big boys, just like you said, their plan is to rush through this tax plan right at the beginning of 2025, get themselves a bunch more tax breaks, and then put the real burden of running this country on ordinary, hardworking families. Look, good. Here's what we do. Elizabeth Warren and everyone else who says we need to get the tax system right. Go to a flat tax with no deductions, make it about 8 or 9% or whatever it takes, and you can exempt the first 30,000 or whatever the poverty level is. You can exempt that first 36,000 and have everyone pay the same percentage, no deductions, no special, what this and that. And you can tax even not necessarily capital gains that are realized. You can tax all income at the same percentage, and then everyone can do their taxes on a postcard for the most part, except for, people have to track how they got their income. It would simplify the system. You probably get rid of 80% of the IRS, and everyone would pay their fair share. The CEOs would pay more based on their income. And not just this sliding scale bullshit. Just make it simple so everyone can do it easily. And you'll have more revenue. So there. So that's Elizabeth Warren. And then speaking of Joy Reid, so now, as we move this forward, Joy Reid says conservatism itself justifies violence. Now, was there a clip on the other one? I think this clip's too long, so we might have to just watch the.
Today.
Well, let's watch Joy Reid. We're gonna watch 6 minutes of Joy Reid because she is saying that conservatism itself has justified violence, meaning, oh, well, we just so happen to be having a conservative, in theory, a conservative government about to start in January. Let's see what Joy Reid says.
The 26-year-old suspect in the killing of the United Healthcare CEO was back in a Pennsylvania courtroom for an extradition hearing to determine when he'll be brought back to New York to face charges, including second-degree murder. The case has brought out a clear division in the reaction among those on the right. You see,
why just on the right, Joy? Are you saying there's no division on the left? Because I've seen people saying on the left too. Yeah, not cool murdering somebody, even if we like the reason they were murdered. But anyway, let's see what she says here.
Popular conservative pundits like Ben Shapiro and anti-woman zealot Matt Walsh.
Anti-woman zealot? Matt Walsh? What? Joy? You mean the trans women's? The women with penises? Is that what you're talking about? What do you mean anti-woman zealot? Unless you define a woman for Matt Walsh, he is not an anti-woman zealot.
Tried to attack, quote, evil liberals for celebrating the murder of a...
Yes! Anyone who celebrated a cold-blooded murder, yes, you're fucked in the head.
CEO. They were met with backlash from some of their own supporters who defended the violence.
No. It's so funny she's talking about the conservative people who defended the violence. I saw mostly left-wing idiots defending the violence. That's complete bullshit.
Because the truth is, those on the right don't necessarily abhor violence if it's against someone they don't like.
Bullshit. Yeah, and oh my God. Am I going to get through this today? Am I going to get through this segment? Holy shit.
Like Black Lives Matter activists or pro-Palestinian protesters, undocumented immigrants, or the homeless.
Whoa, what? Wait, what? I need to run that back. What did...
On the right don't necessarily abhor violence if it's against someone they don't like Black Lives Matter activists or...
The Summer of Love people who committed violence? What do you mean violence against them?
Pro-Palestinian protesters.
Pro-Palestinian protesters? The people out, fucking shit up? What are you talking about, Joy?
Protesters, undocumented immigrants, or the homeless.
And what violence against undocumented immigrants or the homeless? Against the homeless? The right celebrates violence against the homeless? What are you talking about? She's so full of shit.
That's why we see them get behind people like Kyle Rittenhouse, who shot and killed 2 BLM protesters, or George...
They didn't get behind Kyle Rittenhouse because he killed the 2 pedophile BLM protesters. They got behind Kyle Rittenhouse because they felt he was, unjustly charged. Unjustly charged in a clear case of self-defense when there was video evidence of the self-defense that the prosecution knew they had. And now they're going to say
George Zimmerman, who shot and killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin.
And again, it's not the violence that anyone was celebrating. They felt that George Zimmerman, there was evidence that George Zimmerman acted in self-defense, and so he was acquitted. It's not a celebration of the violence. Nobody likes the violence. No one's happy anyone's dead.
And turn them into cause celebs. Just look at how
Zimmerman's turned is a jagoff. Zimmerman, nobody gives a fuck about Zimmerman. And the reason, again, Kyle Hunt Rittenhouse, people felt he was unjustly charged. And as you watch the trial, you realize that he did act in self-defense. And he was properly acquitted. So, you know, whether he should have had a gun there or not, whether he came across state lines or not, whether you like him or not, whether it's a BLM protester or not, dude attacked him, grabbed his gun, and got shot. And 2 other people attacked him, and they got shot or shot at.
Fox's Laura Ingraham speaks about the 26-year-old United Healthcare suspect and Daniel Penny, who was just acquitted yesterday in the subway chokehold death of 30-year-old homeless man Jordan Neely.
Oh, that's what she meant by the homeless man, because of Jordan Neely. Oh, yeah, the guy that was threatening people. I don't see Jordan, and I don't see, some people see Penny as a hero. I just see him as someone who was trying to do the right thing, and someone died. And I think maybe he should have gotten some jail time, but that's just me, because if someone dies at your hands, even if you're doing a good deed or a good Samaritan, you probably did something wrong. But the jurors in New York City, including 4 black jurors, said no, not guilty. Fuck you, because they probably been in the subways and been harassed or threatened by people in the subway, and they're like, fuck it, no, we're not gonna make him guilty. So there.
Bag people, which I was sent in the commercial break earlier, crazy. Like, he's cute, and people celebrating this. This is a sickness. Honestly, it's so disappointing.
She's 100%
correct. I guess we shouldn't be
correct.
surprised. Gentlemen, thank you so much. And up next,
Is that her example? Wow, that's a pretty lame example. I thought it was going to be much more spicy.
Big news out of New York. Daniel Penny. A lot of people think he's a hero, and tonight he's not guilty. My take next.
Wow. Joining me now is Jason
Wow,
Johnson, professor of politics and journalism at Morgan State University and host of the podcast Award
surely
with Jason
unbiased.
Johnson.
I'm sure he's surely unbiased, and boy, he's going to just have a very sensible take about this.
La difference, Jason.
We just witnessed a murder of irony.
Yes.
That was a murder right there.
Dead.
Irony is officially dead.
Yeah.
Under any and all circumstances, we should not be surprised in this country that just reelected Donald Trump.
And I mean, the reality is, if you go back to the Trayvon Martin case, you can go back before that. You can go back to the justification for lynching among conservatives, whether the conservatives wearing the D uniform or the R uniform. Conservatism itself has justified violence. January 6th, burning down Tulsa and Wilmington, overthrowing.
It's so convenient that she doesn't mention the violence by leftists at all. She doesn't mind Chad and Chaz and the Portland siege of the federal building and BLM riots for an entire year where multiple police officers were killed around the country. Lots of people were murdered during those riots. But it's funny how selective she is.
The government there. If it's violence for the purposes they want, they're cool with it.
Pot kettle. And that's not even a black joke. That's a pot kettle joke.
If the victim is somebody that I don't like, or the victim is someone who they feel deserves it, then a lot of times people are willing to justify violence.
Yes, and look in the mirror. Look in the mirror, sir.
Unfortunate thing, it's a very American thing, right? I mean, we worship vigilante violence. We worship action heroes. We worship Charles Bronson and all these people who take it into their own hands. Al Capone, criminals and everything else like that.
Who fucking idolizes Al Capone? He was just a criminal.
I think the sad part about this, frankly, is that I am not going to pretend that in a country that's been started and operated off of violence, that violence doesn't sometimes solve things. But the man who was killed is a cog in a machine. It's not.
Oh, so does that make it better? The man who was killed is a cog in a machine. Where are you going with this?
Not going to change anything about how healthcare operates in this country. And so you have killed a man, harmed his family, and the machine's going to keep going.
Yeah.
And so it didn't really accomplish it.
And the thing that's so kind of
Oh, so if it would have accomplished something, then it'd be okay? That's weird. That's a weird take.
It's this Luigi Mangione. You know, he's like sort of now everywhere. You know, there's people celebrating him, all on saying, don't catch him, all that sort of thing. You know, he did have his arraignment today, and he stood up and yelled something about, you know, this is just, it's unfair, it's not right, yada, yada, yada. He was walking, there he goes, walking in today. He yelled something about, there he goes. He's turning himself into sort of a folk hero, right?
I'm wondering, and again, his struggling against this, like knowing he did it, or is it not fair because someone got him to do this because they're trying to create something? Again, that's me. I'm not usually a conspiracy theorist, but, you know, it's just too easy.
Right, and leaning into that. He's probably richer than the guy that he killed. His family, he has generational wealth.
Yes.
Oh,
so
my goodness. So he's a bad
was
guy.
wealthier than the CEO that he killed.
Yeah.
I probably not. He could be, but who knows?
Yes, this is Lex Luthor killing a stormtrooper, right? Like he and here's the thing. The humanity of this is that no matter how much money you have, you can still be taken advantage of by our unfair healthcare system.
That's right.
All the money in the world can't fix a broken back.
If he was richer than the guy he's doing it, then they could have paid for whatever treatments they say that didn't get. I mean, he went to a high school that cost $30,000 a year. A high school that cost $30,000 a year. Shut the fuck up.
All the money in the world can't save your grandmother. That's where my empathy comes through. But the attitude that, well, if I can't get things my way, or if I'm in pain, that singular violence is a way to go is a level of privilege that the vast majority of people in America suffering can't exact.
We see murders every day. We see murders every day in America, and not always by guns, whatever. By the way, thank you, True Hype. Dropped a deuce in the tip jar by YouTube Super Chat. He said, I thought Charles Bronson was British. Idolize? Charles Bronson isn't British. He was born in the United States. But he was an action hero. Thank you very much for sponsoring the show. Appreciate it. Let's go.
A lot of the people who are falling in love with Luigi Mangione are opposed to regulating the insurance companies.
Yes.
That is how you could actually stop them from taking advantage of us. I think left and right.
That's possible. I don't know if she's being factual here or not. But anyway.
We agree. The system is broken. Insurance companies are bilking us. United Healthcare is that big for a reason. Mm-hmm. They're being sued for a reason. But like you said, they'll just replace him with another CEO and keep doing it to you. But regulation would actually fix it. They're against that.
They're against regulation because people don't want to understand that part. They want the catharsis of this one-man action that will supposedly. It's like everyone talking about the anesthesiologist a week ago, like, oh, that changed because of what happened. Probably not. That was a much more complex situation. If there was a general level of understanding about healthcare, if we actually have members of Congress who would engage healthcare as an actual issue, not as just a political ploy to be bounced back and forth, you wouldn't have these kinds of problems. But Joy, this is my real concern. This is very real for you and me and everybody else who does anything. This person worked alone. I sincerely believe he very likely worked alone.
Sure.
And any crazy person who views somebody as the genocide.
I think that's the narrative. He did it alone. He's a lone gunman. And I'm wondering, his reaction there about this not being fair or whatever, did someone tell him, hey, we'll just set you up and we'll figure out how to take care of you later? Again, this is me going, full conspiracy theory on this. It's kind of crazy.
Of all their problems can go out and do this. And that's what happens when you have a country that worships violence and a country where you don't regulate guns.
Right, exactly.
Because if you couldn't get access to guns, this probably doesn't happen.
Well, and this is the same approach that is taken by the right when it comes to gun violence. They're like, oh, it's very sad that 3-year-olds were killed, but we're not. The answer would be regulating guns, but we're not willing to do that. And so there's an unwillingness to do any of the structural things that would actually make it better. And in fact, I was saying the other day, I said it on my TikTok, I said it on this show, the majority of the voters in this country just elected to run America like United Healthcare.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I wonder if this is a talking point they want out. So does this put a target on the leader of that cabal? Is that where the target should be?
This country will now be run the same way United Healthcare is.
No,
vicious cost.
No, it won't. Holy shit. And but they're projecting so many things upon what Donald Trump's going to do. It's kind of wild.
Cost cutting, merciless cost cutting.
There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? There's nothing wrong with efficiency. There's so many government agencies. There's over 400 government agencies. The country started with about 5. And some of the agencies are so freaking redundant, and you have so many levels of management. It's nonsense. So there's certainly, there's entire departments that could go away, and no one would know the fucking difference. No American would know the difference.
Cutting people's benefits, cutting veterans' benefits.
They haven't talked about cutting benefits. That's the other part. They keep saying, oh, they're going to cut veterans' benefits, they're going to cut Social Security, they're going to cut Medicare. They've never said anything about that. They said that they're going to maybe streamline the budgets of those without cutting benefits. That's what I understand. But you know what? I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Refusing care, taking away Obamacare.
And guess what? Oh, by the way, if you go to a country that has universal health care, so to speak, are you saying they never deny care? They never deny treatment to people? Yeah, they do. Just like private insurance does. Look, these are the people who think that we should have government-run healthcare, right? How did that work out during COVID? We got a taste of what government-run healthcare would be like during COVID. Is that what you really want? And the idea that people, Medicare for all. Y'all have ever been on Medicare? Because I know people who have. It's not perfect either. And they'll deny shit too. They'll deny shit all the time. So it's I don't know if there's a perfect system. Is our system the best? Whatever. The one advantage of our system is that you can always find an MRI machine to get the next day, or get a CAT scan done quickly, or X-rays or whatever. There's an abundance of places that will do the things that need to be done. So I don't know. Hello, Aaron Meredith, by the way.
That is United Healthcare.
And limiting people's ability to sue and pursue government regulation.
You mean like when you limited the ability of people to sue the pharmaceutical companies who put out the Fauci juices? In fact, you've limited the and now we find out that Pfizer, when in their records they knew about 152,000 Fauci juice injuries. That we're just finding that out now. But you can't sue them, and you guys probably were like, oh, you shouldn't be able to sue them. Huh. Interesting.
To stop the problems. Literally, people just said, well, I want more of this. And again, the problem is I have a lot of empathy for everybody on all sides in this situation. I've had to take care of people who are suffering medically, but this ain't the answer. And I honestly wish, rather than the right-wing people screaming and yelling and engaging in ridiculous murders of irony and everything else like that, I really wish that members of Congress would stand up and say, hey, you know what, right and left, either because we're concerned about our own safety or the safety of American people, let's do something about this.
Yeah, it would be nice, right?
That'd be a nice Christmas
That would
gift.
be so normal. That's an America, Jason. Come on. We don't.
Okay, so anyway, there you go. Joy Reid and her brilliance. And then I got a couple more of these, and then the rest I'm just to leave the articles to you. I got a lot of articles open that'll be in the chat at the end of the show, and also in the description down below. Good morning, Don Julio, Commandant of Trash. What up? Now again, and Joy Reid mentioning the potential gun grab you could get out of this. Democrats and corrupt media rush to make health insurance CEOs murder all about grabbing guns. A husband and dad is dead. Brian Thompson, 50, CEO of United Healthcare, was murdered outside his hotel in New York City just before dawn on December 4th on a public sidewalk. The Thompson family held his funeral Monday, and while their mourning will continue, the nation has become fixated on his death. Video of the murder shows a hooded man shooting Thompson in the back and has been run countless time on TV and social media. Suspect Luigi Mangione was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania on Monday. It was the same day Thompson's funeral and S. Thompson's funeral, and 6 days after the shooting. Mangione was arrested with a 3D printed gun, a police criminal complaint said. So so it's a 3D printed gun, right? How would gun laws would have prevented that? I'm waiting. How would gun laws have prevented that? This guy printed a gun. I'm shocked that it even worked. I don't get how this 3D stuff works. Real quick. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. How you doing, man? Dropping a small bullet in the tip jar. You are the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much. AG says the only thing that changes if we go with government-paid health care is the person who is denying you care when you get denied. Exactly. It's like I've heard everyone in it happens in Canada, it happens in England, it happens in all these places. I think it might be France. I think has the smoothest transition as far as things like that go. But I've been hearing it from people from other places. Yeah, they deny care here for things too, or they limit the types of drugs you use, or they won't pay this much for this much of whatever. So, okay, man, yeah, a 3D printed gun though. Democrats and legacy media are already using the death for political messaging, primarily concerning so-called ghost guns. Well, if it's a ghost gun, you'd have never known it because it was 3D printed, you morons. Count how many times this week you hear the word ghost gun. Second Amendment advocates bristle at the left's nickname for kit guns and 3D printed guns sold as parts and fully built by the consumer. The parts do not have a serial number and are tough to track. In a 2022 executive order, President Joe Biden required serial numbers on guns parts sold in kits. This has been challenged in the Supreme Court as an infringement of Second Amendment rights. In September, an executive order, Biden called for a report assessing the risk of 3D printed firearms. A Monday evening, reporters jumped on the ghost gun angle, making sure that to engage in plenty of scaremongering. So then they talk about that. To announce Mangione's arrest, Governor Josh Shapiro, a Democrat in Pennsylvania, led a press conference Monday evening. Police often handle such press conferences on their own, but it would have been impossible for Shapiro to resist such an opportunity. Political watchers could consider Shapiro a likely future Democratic presidential candidate. He led a similar press conference sharing the national spotlight with state police after the attempted assassination of then candidate Donald Trump in Butler in July 13th. Shapiro mentioned two political flashpoints in Monday's comments: ghost guns and health insurance. Quote, some attention in this case, especially online, has been deeply disturbing, as some have looked to celebrate instead of condemning this killer. Brian Thompson, who was a father of two, he was a husband, he was a friend, and many, and yes, he was the CEO of a health insurance company. In America, we do not kill people in cold blood to resolve policy differences or express a viewpoint. I understand people have a real frustration with our healthcare system, and I've worked to address that throughout my career, but I have no tolerance, nor should anyone, for one man using an illegal ghost gun, there's the words, to murder someone because he thinks his opinions matter most. In a civil society, we are less safe when ideologues engage in vigilante justice. In some dark corners, this killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero. This goes on, but yeah. So they're going to make it about their pet project, getting rid of guns. So, I just think it's silly. Now, one of the best takes on this, though, and I'm actually going to have to finish with this, and I do have several other articles. I'll go through other headlines, too. It's just other news items, but this is the best take on this. Rachel Maddow. Rachel freaking Maddow has found a way to connect Luigi Mangione to Donald John Trump. Million degrees of separation. Here it goes. How long is this?
This young man arrested.
Okay. Let's just play this clip. She finds a way to make Luigi Mangione arrest about Trump.
Today, he has not been charged with the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. We don't yet know if he will be charged with that killing. But if it is him, the fact that he's a professed Unabomber fan is unsettling.
Yes.
I might venture that it's even more unsettling that Donald Trump's reported choice to run the ATF is also a self-professed fan of the Unabomber.
What? What? Does it say what? First of all, just to be clear, Trump hasn't actually picked anyone to head the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, though there have been reports that he met with venture capitalist Blake Masters last week. Second of all, unless we're missing something, Masters never said he was a fan of the Unabomber. While appearing on the Subversive podcast a few years ago, the host asked him who he thought was a subversive thinker that's underrated. Masters responded by saying that Kaczynski, Masters was running for the Senate at the time, and Democrats, of course, took this out of context. Masters goes on to say that Kaczynski is a terrorist and a terrible person, and this is not an endorsement. While it probably was a stupid thing to say while you're on the campaign trail, Masters even admits that during the podcast, anyone with any critical thinking skills can listen to the entire few minutes and understand that he's not supporting any kind of violence. But, of course, Rachel Maddow finds a way to tie it to Donald Trump. All right. Let's just give you a taste of what's in the links today. Nancy Mace was attacked on Capitol Hill by LGBTQ activists. Let's see. She said, I was physically accosted at the Capitol tonight by a pro-trans man. One new brace for my wrist and some ice for my arm, and it'll heal just fine. So your trans violence and threats on my life will only make me double down. Fuck around and find out. So she's like, she did not give a shit. But yeah, so someone attacked her. PJ Media, oops, do that. Also, and a swatting email involving Marjorie Taylor Greene at her home ends in a fatal tragedy. Apparently, someone got hit by a car and died. Rome Police Department Assistant Chief of Police received an email containing a bomb threat directed towards Marjorie Taylor Greene. And she says, I'm so grateful to every member of the Rome Police Department for your swift and professional response, ensuring my safety. But apparently, what is this? I didn't think, maybe not died. No, it says fatal tragedy. So on Monday morning, Rodney Bailey, the city's assistant police chief, discovered an email that stated that a bomb had been placed in the congresswoman's mailbox. An officer was sent to her home, and according to a statement released by the Rome Police Department, Bailey informed the commander of the Rome Floyd bomb squad, and the Rome bomb squad of the situation. The squad mobilized and dispatched operators to respond to a non-emergency to the bomb's headquarters. Let's see. Rome Police Sergeant and bomb squad member David Matroka was driving his personal truck en route to the squad's headquarters. Sadly, 66-year-old Tammy Picklesmeyer pulled out in front of him from a parking lot, and the two vehicles collided. Picklesmeyer was taken to the local hospital, but unfortunately she succumbed to her injuries. Matroka was also taken to the hospital with minor injuries that's since been released. So it wasn't a bomb, but just the fact that they were out on the road responding to a bomb incident, and there was a fatal accident on the way to it. So that's unfortunate. In America Greatness, there's an essay on the about that fake bomb threat and that it leads to a fatal car crash. You can check that out. Breitbart. There's a report out now that in 2017, the Department of Justice spied on Kash Patel. Kash Patel, who's being what they tap him as to be the director of the CIA? No, FBI, director of the FBI. So they found that the Justice Department in 2017 secretly surveilled lawmakers, congressional staffers, and reporters. So this is, I got a feeling that if Kash Patel gets confirmed, this might be the first thing. Might be his first Call of Duty. Real quick, thank you, AD, for sponsoring the show again. You are the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today. says never understood bomb threats. The last thing I'm going to do if I want to blow someone up is to warn anyone. Yeah, I was curious about that myself. Thank you. So yeah, they found out that they were illegally, without a judge's permission or order, doing surveillance and just investigating certain lawmakers, congressional staffers, and Kash Patel. And now he's possibly going to be the director of the FBI. By the way, Chris Wray apparently is going to step down before Donald Trump gets inaugurated. So that clears the path. And you remember some of the Congress people are saying, well, he was appointed to a 10-year tenure and a 10-year tenure. That's 10-year tenure. As director of the FBI, and that, oh, Donald Trump can't fire him because he's supposed to be there 10 years. No. It's if you become the director, you can be there a maximum of 10 years, not required to be there 10 years. And the incoming president can fire your ass at will, but Chris Wray doesn't want to be fired, so he's going to step down before Donald Trump's inauguration. Anyway, let's see. So now we're at Senator John Kennedy. This exchange with this former general and his anti-Trump remarks, it was quite the exchange. You'll have to, it's one of those stupid special, you can't watch it anyway. It's all over YouTube. John Kennedy, he clashed with Army Major General Randy Manner. So you'll have to look that up on YouTube. Issues and insights. What's this one? And just again, the tolerant left sure does like assassins. Just a bunch of examples of people praising this idiot who murdered someone in cold blood. In National Pulse, LA Deputy District Attorney suggests that tyrant Trump should be killed. Again, these are, I'm telling you, I believe in some way this may be a setup way to desensitize some of these little bit unhinged people about Donald Trump, the evil Hitler, Nazi, fascist, whatever, and that this opens the door by praising the guy who killed the CEO for some assholes to do what this LA Deputy District Attorney suggests, and that Trump should be killed. Patrick Frey, Deputy District Attorney in Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, has suggested the American people will have to rise up and end, starting with K, President-elect Donald Trump if he becomes a dictator. Now, if he becomes a dictator, I thought they're already calling him a dictator. He says if Donald Trump is going to become a tyrant, the American people have to examine the option of dealing with him in a way the citizenry deals with the tyrant. Well, gee, I thought he was already a tyrant just for being elected. I mean, isn't that kind of what they're pushing right now? In Breitbart, Democrats beg Joe Biden to commute the death sentences for Boston bomber, child killer, and an anti-Semitic mass murderer. The applications for clemency and or pardons are coming in, and some of the people that they're asking for probably should rot in hell. I'm just saying. You can read that one. Legal insurrection. Judiciary Committee. The FBI is using banks to surveil bank accounts without warrants. This is another one that came up this week. Report how the federal government weaponized the Bank Secrecy Act to spy on Americans. They're monitoring your bank accounts and without a warrant. Interesting. New York Post, John Turley says Susan Wild and other rotten Dems are in an ethical freefall. You must be wary of those seeking to use their influence and their expertise to wrongful ends. Those words were spoken at the George Washington Law School commencement ceremony 2 years ago by the recently defeated Susan Wild, who was Democrat for Pennsylvania. And this just Turley talking about how they're not having a good end of the year. Let's just put it that way. All right, there's a lot more articles, but I don't have time to go through all these. Let me just put these links in the chat, and also I'll put links to the store, the Unburdened store, where you can get the hats, shirts, and sweatshirts. That's it. I gotta go, guys. Let's do this. Clickety click. Today, come on. Hello, fix, work. There we go. So that's it. Here come the links. Copy, paste. For today's show, I'll drop those in the description too. That's it. I'll be back tomorrow. Sorry for the abrupt ending, but I got shit to do. So you guys have a great day. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.